I'm fresh off the plane from the NAACP Image Awards, so I'm gonna say good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know what time it is. So in film, there's a phrase and it's called, I can show you better than I can tell you. When you decide whether or not you want to watch a movie, is it because somebody's talking about it or because you saw the trailer? It's the trailer generally, right? Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys see the trailer before I get started.
But how can he see when your eyes don't work?
A child searching for the truth.
Grandpa, do you have superpowers?
A man with a powerful story to tell.
Everybody from all 9 floors came to my snack bar.
We love the Candyman!
We love the Candyman! We love the Candyman!
From the ashes of tragedy.
Ayana, some people live in darkness. They don't walk in the light. They keep anger and bitterness in their hearts. 168 people died, and I had served at least 100 of them in my snack bar at some point.
Witness the beauty of light.
Ayana, you've asked why I have this scar on my arm, but have you ever read the bracelet that hangs below it? You haven't learned the language of our tribe yet, but we will start today. So Yaha, the motto of our people, the Yuchi tribe.
That song you sing.
Yes, it means children of the sun. We walk in the light, Ayana.
Through the eyes of a blind man.
Oh no! You didn't have your walking stick.
You don't need eyes to see. Even in the darkest of times, love is illuminated. And that, Ayana, is my superpower. We miss our friends, but their spirits never die. Their light will never die because love never dies. Now, Ayana, how will you shine your light?
419 Studios presents Walk in the Light.
So Yaha, my shadow is so bright. So Yaha.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so my film is about Raymond Washburn. He was a blind man who worked on the 4th floor of the Alfred P. Murrah building, a 9-floor building, the most majestic building in all of Oklahoma City, a 9-floor federal building. He was a blind man, he was born blind. He worked on the 4th floor in the snack bar. So everybody who, from all 9 floors, visited his snack bar. It's 1995. So when you wanted something to eat, there wasn't Uber Eats, you weren't calling DoorDash, you went to Raymond's snack bar. So of the 168 people who died in the Oklahoma City bombing on April 19th, 1995, Raymond knew at least 100 of them. So most of them were people who were working in the building, but you also had people visiting. You had a Social Security office in there. You had different things and business that people were attending to, and so they were at the building that day. Raymond, I told you, was born blind, got around with his walking stick, and when the bomb happened, he was disoriented. If you know anything about blind people, how many of you know somebody blind or know somebody's had to use a walking stick? Okay, so I see some hands, but a lot of you don't. Blind people, they have a routine. It's this many steps here, this to the left, this to the right. Can you imagine an explosion? An explosion so big that it kills 168 people, knocking you back on your back and you're blind. Be a little disoriented, right? What do I do? Where do I go? Well, that's what happened to Raymond. He was fortunately blown. As you can see, y'all see that? Well, let's see here. There we go. Do you see the building? Basically, it created 9 cliffs. So you couldn't go the way that you were supposed to go. And so the white concrete dust, the black smoke, everything that you see, Raymond's customers and his employees were screaming, I can't see, I can't see. There was, some of you are old enough to remember that moment. I think I see some teachers in the audience. And so their eyes were matted, a lot of them were bloodied, and you've got this concrete dust sticking to your eyes, and they're screaming, I can't see, I can't see. Well, Raymond could never see. And so what he does is he steadies himself to his feet, he frees himself from the rubble, he struggles a bit, and then he says, follow the sound of my voice. Put your hand on each other's shoulders and follow me. Now, why is that significant? When you see a blind person being led, a lot of times that's what they're taught to do. You put your hand on the shoulder of the person in front of you and you walk. So them screaming and hollering, I can't see, he said, put your hand on each other's shoulders and walk, and I'll lead you out of there. He led them through a back stairwell. While pieces of the building were falling on them, he led them out the back and got them out of the building. Remarkable, isn't it? What we do in the film is Raymond tells Ayanna, we are members of the Yuchi tribe of Native Americans. We are the children of the sun. We walk in the light. So me being a filmmaker and being a writer, I said, oh my gosh, come on now. You got a blind man saving people out of the building, and he's a member of a tribe called Children of the Sun. So that's where I came up with Walk in the Light. When Raymond died, I was asked to do the eulogy because I had worked so hard on his story. He died in 2022. Matter of fact, I had finished the script. I sent it to his wife. She read it to him. A few hours later, he passed away. He signed the release form giving me permission to do the movie, and he passed away. So my dad's a pastor. I called him. I said, Dad, I've seen you do so many funerals, and he does a brilliant job. I don't see how he does it. Because I'm a big baby. I'm just going to start crying. I was like, I'm going to try to keep it together. I said, Dad, what would you say about this man? How would you eulogize somebody like this? My dad said, well, there's a theologian, the great Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And he said, love is illuminating. Y'all know what the word illuminate means, I think. You're old enough to know. Love is illuminating. In the darkest times, one of the darkest times in American history, 168 dead people, including 19 children on the first floor in the daycare. Second floor on the daycare. Love is illuminating. So Raymond could not physically see, but he saw with the light of his heart. And he led those people out of darkness. And that's how I eulogized Raymond. So, the question I get, I told you I'd give you the story, and then the question I get is, how do you make the film? Well, as you can see when he died, these are all the news stories that covered it. He was even honored by Congresswoman Stephanie Bice. Do you guys know why? Because he was actually a very quiet man. He didn't talk a lot. Only a few people knew of this story. He did a few interviews and that's it. The reason why the news knew is because I told them. I sent out a press release. I Googled email addresses. I said, you got to talk about this man and you got to honor him. I completed the Oklahoma City Memorial and I said, I'm going to get that medal to his family. How you make a film is you have to have the passion to do it. You got to, can y'all tell I'm passionate? Y'all tell him into the story? And that's him with his family there. But first, I'm going to start with the practical. Everybody's got dreams, guys. Everybody's got dreams. But you need the money and the vision. I believe the previous speaker was talking about this. You need the money and the vision to do it. You need the resources. I started with zero money. I had a beat-up laptop, and I was in a one-bedroom apartment in Arkansas. They don't call it show art. They call it show business. So no matter how big your dream is about this film, you're gonna need to go get the money. I applied for grants. I raised it. I want to tell y'all a story. You're gonna love this story. I just moved from Nashville. I was in Nashville for quite a bit. And I was supposed to get a grant from the city, and they got into a political fight. They picked the year I needed this money to get into a political fight. And I was waiting on tens of thousands of dollars I wasn't gonna get. I'm gonna tell y'all what I did. People laugh at this to this day. I Googled, You know, if you go on prominent art websites, you see the list of donors. I Googled their names and their addresses. And I sent them letters. Hi, my name is Princella Smith. We have not met before, but I've got a project, and these politicians in Nashville keep arguing, and I need my money. Somebody picked up the phone and got some things moving, but in the meantime, this lady, her name is Kelly Crockett. God bless Miss Kelly Crockett. She met me at a coffee shop. She said, I think she was like, anybody bold enough to come at me and not know me and ask me for this? Let me meet this person in person. She met me, and I'll never forget, Kelly did this. She said, I just wanted to see you. Like, I wanted to see if this is real. This is a real person. I just wanted to see you. And she wrote me a check for tens of thousands of dollars. So you can do it, kids. Don't let anybody tell you don't have any money. I had nothing, and that's how I got it funded. I want to tell y'all how awesome that is, because making an animation is very, very, very expensive, okay? I wanted to tell y'all, when I first wanted to just get a trailer done to try to pitch it to get the money, I had a company in California tell me, we will charge you $1.5 million for a 1-minute trailer. Said, nope, in the words of Jalen Rose, I'm not gonna be able to do it. He's a sports commentator. Then I went to another company. They said, oh, we'll do a 1-minute trailer for $48,000. I said, you guys gotta be kidding me. Then I said, well, maybe I'll just raise money for the whole film. I went to a couple of smaller companies, 200,000, 100,000. I said, no. And they were 2D. I said, I wanted 3D. Ended up going to Upwork.com. Don't know if you've heard of it, but there's some hungry people on there just like me, hungry, wanting to work. I said, I got this idea. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna be amazing. And I found some 20-something-year-old kids out of India, and they did a 3D animation. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. This country girl from Arkansas is Emmy nominated, is an NAACP Image Award nominee. Now y'all are, yeah, you can clap. I took something that was millions of dollars. I said, I don't have it, but get me with some other dreamers who will do it, and we'll do it for a few thousand, and that's what we did. The other point, so I told you about the practical, this is the dreamer. The dreamer in me had the nerve to look up Mr. Washburn and get to know him, and go to his house, and interview him, and get his story. You guys are young, I don't know if y'all talk like this. People in my generation say when something wasn't meant to happen, it was just a fluke. You know, that was just a fluke. That was a one-off, like, not really sure. One of my favorite shows on TV was The Office. Do y'all watch that in reruns? On the comedy. Do you guys know Kevin is stupid? He talk like this. By the way, that guy is actually really smart. The actor, he's actually really, really smart guy. But you know, he's kind of dumb. And he wins a trivia game. And there's a phrase he says, a fluke is one of the most common fish in the sea. So if you go fishing for a fluke, chances are you just might catch one. I went fishing for a fluke, guys. And I have jet lag. I hope y'all can understand what I'm saying. I went fishing for a fluke. I just got back from Los Angeles. And that's me at the NAACP Image Awards. They're AKA the Black Oscars in Hollywood, one of the big shows. That's me. Y'all recognize any of those people? That's Marlon Wayans. That's the kid Jabari Branks from the Fresh Prince reboot. Those two guys were also in the Fresh Prince reboot. That's me holding my nomination certificate. And I thought I'd let y'all know something. We were still looking for distribution for my film, still trying to get it out. Princella caught the fluke. That guy, y'all know who that, uh-oh, my timer's going off. Y'all know who that guy is? That's Aldous Hodge. Now you see, he won an award for Outstanding Drama Series of The Cross, that's on Prime Video. And he's also the lead actor in that series. Well, you know, the ladies out there swooning, yeah, Aldous Hodge, that's a good looking man. I was trying to concentrate when he was talking to me, but Aldous Hodge wants to work with Princella Smith. I caught the fluke, y'all. I caught the fluke. I'm gonna end my speech because I know I'm at my time. I wanna tell y'all kids something. Because this is why I love talking to kids. Because y'all still dream. Sometimes adults forget to dream. You should never stop dreaming. The boogeyman is not real. The boogeyman ain't real. If Princella Smith can come from a 5-room mobile home in East Arkansas, a town called Wynne, Arkansas, I bet maybe 2 people might have heard of it. And be in LA talking to Aldous Hodge and Marlon Wayans, then you can do whatever it is you want to do. That's my time, y'all.